Well, doggone it. I think this light is dead. It's been eating light bulbs. But then that creates another problem. You know, I'm almost 50, and I've never bought a lamp. Where does one buy a lamp? Yes, there's these great questions that we all must ask, and I realized that the other day that I bought a lamp when I was 7 years old at Kmart, and that would have been 1980. Oof. Yeah, let's just leave it at 1980 early. So this video is about mechanics. I've had the truck in the shop. Something's going on with the Jake brake, and with it just still having a little bit of warranty left and things of that nature. You need to get that checked because a bad Jake solenoid can cause a lot of problems. You get Jakes going bad, you can screw fuel injectors up, which I've done. You can bend valves, you can drop valves, you can really do a lot of internal damage having bad Jake brakes. And on top of that, at 220,000 miles, I thought I might get the overhead checked too. But then you have to deal with mechanics. And it's all over again. Now I know what you're thinking. You're probably thinking that this guy didn't get along with any mechanics at all. I do. But I have expectations because I'm the one paying the bills. And when you're paying the bills, a lot of guys seem to forget that you get to call the shots. That's your money. Now don't get me wrong, the mechanic can make suggestions. But when they start blatantly ignoring what you're doing, sometimes being up front is the best thing you can do. And I'm going to tell you about what happened today. I came across this Montclair Quadraphonic Q8. It's an 8-track player. Had it hidden out in an old toolbox of mine, and I'd love to get it going again, but I'll probably have to do a little bit of research. Oh boy, that's the warranty tag. Anyhow, one of the problems that I've been having is that, and it's been wearing on me a lot lately, is that nobody's listening to me. I'm the one paying the bills. I'm the one that talks to all the other mechanics. I'm the missing link, and yet for some reason everything I say is dismissed. They ignore what I say, and the first thing they do is go right to the thing I told them not to do. And I've been having to put my foot down. So, and this happened on the last truck, or the last time the truck was in the shop. How'd that work? And the first thing I told them was, do not mess with those EGR codes, the emissions codes. I said, they're ghost codes. I explained to them in detail what they were. So the first thing they did was ignore everything I said and dug it in, and without my permission, put a knock sensor on. So, you know, I got mad. So I told you not to touch that. So this time I flat told him, I said, here's the deal, Bubba. Gotta put this back together. We're gonna eventually get back to this someday. I said, these two codes are this and this. I said, do not touch them. Do not mess with them. Don't. I said, I know exactly what they are. I said, one's a ghost code, one's an electrical code. I said, I know what causes them. I know that they go away. I said, there's nothing we can do with them. It's just part of the truck. So I get a call from the dealership today with an estimate and a long detail about SCR and this and that and the other thing. And I got a little mad. I mean, I didn't get a little mad. I got very mad. And we had a very interesting conversation. As new owner-operators, one of the problems that you're going to have dealing with mechanics, especially dealership mechanics lately, is that troubleshooting is a thing of the past. When they pull up the Insight for the Cummings, there is a long list and an order. That's why it costs so much, because you start with X, Y, Z, or A, B, C, D. Well, these guys go straight to 7. And suddenly, they're talking about wanting to put the most expensive part on. I'm like, dude, I'm not here to supplement your income. And that's basically what they're doing, is they're trying to upsell because they get a commission off the parts and things of that nature. And I'm like, we're not here for that. I'm here to get my truck fixed. You're here, I'm hiring you to fix my truck. So they go through this whole long, and I said, stop. I said, I told you not to screw with that. I know exactly what it is. Take it off the bill. I will not pay for that. That's not even a thing. I said, I will absolutely not pay for that. Because I told you up front, you wrote it down, do not mess with it. And when you're dealing with dealerships, this is how you have to be. So I got a second estimate. And I'm going to show you the first estimate here, and then I'll show you a screen grab from the first estimate, and we'll show you a screen grab from the second one. So this is the cost of the first estimate. This is what they quoted me it was going to cost, which in the grand scheme of things with semi-trucks isn't too bad, but it is what it is. So then he calls me on the phone. Right here was the cost of the second estimate. Yeah, see the difference? This is why you have to be firm. Now, as you've been watching my videos, I've been dealing with mechanics for, off and on for a long time. And it's been really tough. It's not that I don't hate these guys. It's not that I don't want their, to give them my business, because a lot of them are very good. It's just that you have, like I said, you have a certain expectation, and you have things that need to be done right according to your wishes. You're the one paying the bills, And when they ignore that and just go off on their own and do their own thing at your dime, that's not good. I mean, you have to stop that. As you've seen and been watching over the last 4 years on this channel, a lot of different mechanics things. There's a lot of things I haven't put on this channel. There's a lot of very bad things that have happened. And even with this truck, with the shop, that Pete shop that I used to deal with, that got so bad, I am still dealing with things that they did. I mean, just because you fire the shop doesn't mean the problem goes away. Future problems tend to go away, but you're still going to be dealing with the aftermath of their crap, as I've said in other videos. And that is why I talk about mechanics so much and holding them to the fire, their feet to the fire, because I tell them, if it's wrong, you let me be wrong. That's because I've been down this road before. And just like with that emissions, it's been, they want to change that knock sensor. I said, dude, they have changed that 5 times. I'll tell you the phone conversation we had. Now, first of all, I love it when a service writer tries to guilt me into doing something. Striking the fear in me and this and that. Don't get me wrong, guys. There are some sincere ones out, but their job is to get your business. And their job is to get as much of your business as they can. I don't have a problem with that. It's business. But when they resort to tactics that are below board, that's when I start having a problem. And so they send me this email that was clearly cut and paste, because it just had all the earmarks of being cut and paste. If you don't do this, and this, and future problems will arise, blah, 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 blah. I'm like, this was This was cut and paste. Because people don't talk like this, computers talk like this. So I call him up on the phone, I talk to him, and he starts going, and I said, stop. I told you no. That's end of story. I told you this is what happens, this is what happens. And sometimes you do have to explain yourself because, you know, just the fact that no should be enough, most of the time it is not. And then you have to sit there and explain yourself to these people when there's no explanation necessary other than, I told you no. And I had told them earlier that if you dig into that, I will not pay for it. There will be no bill for that. That will not get paid for. Made that very clear. And I laid it all out with him, even though I didn't have to, because I wanted the conversation to end. I said, dude, I've been down this road. They just put a new knock sensor in it. In fact, it's had 4 new knock sensors in it. The last 2 I told them not to do, and they went and did anyways. And I said, I'm not paying for a 5th one. You know, I know what causes it, this, that, and the other thing. I said, it's just a nuance of the truck. It has a personality. That's it. And that truck will probably be doing the same thing in 10 years. But you saw with the estimate how they tried to get me for almost another, good grief, $1,700 over something I told them not to mess with. And that is why I tell you guys to be stern, be firm, and you know, you need to make the decisions. It's all right to have, you know, a suggestion, but the big decision making needs to be yours, which leads me to my last point. So you owner ops and you lease guys, and even some of you company guys, part of your job as truck drivers is to become very familiar with that truck. You two are going to be spending a lot of time together. Google is a great resource. Now, don't get me wrong, if you start Googling it, you need to know certain things about the codes, if you can have access to them, that way, you know, it's not a turbo, it's an exhaust leak. Believe it, they throw the same code. Yeah, but within a lot of the same codes, you have FMI 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And this code, like, for instance, I have a code 3226 FMI 20. It's a 20 or 31, I don't remember. But it's basically just an electrical code. It's no big deal. It comes, it goes. But the FMI 9 is a completely different story. Same code, different subsection. And that's why I tell people that when you take troubleshooting is so important, because it's almost become a scam. And you know, you can go from a $10 part to a $10,000 part because of a misdiagnosis. And it's very important to become very familiar with your truck, all its nuances, how it acts, how it sounds, just every aspect of it. You know, like I said, you and that truck are going to be together a long time, especially if you bought it. And you need to know everything. Now, we've already talked about warranties and all that. Third party, if it's not a factory warranty, third-party warranties, the most useless thing known to man. Save your money. All right. Yeah, I did a video on that. That was yeah, save your money. In fact, that was a deal breaker on one of the last trucks I looked at. I said, if this truck involves me buying one of those warranties, I said, deal's off. I said, I'm not falling for that again. Because the warranty used to be $2,000, then it was $4,000, then it was $7,000, and then it's $10,000. The warranty price keeps going up, but the coverage never does. So it's just a money grab, and truthfully, yeah, you'll find your happy place, but get very intimately familiar with your truck, and you'll know what to do when the time comes. If you're going to be in this business very long, you have, it's the word paradox, I don't know, it's kind of almost being two-faced, I guess. You have to trust somebody, yet trust yet verify. There's a lot of sharks out here, guys, and a lot of them are mechanics, and a lot of them are at the dealer level. This new breed of mechanic out here doesn't know how to troubleshoot anymore. They just want to shotgun parts and hope they get it. And you know, about 4 out of 10 times that works, but you don't have time to be going back to the dealer over and over and over. So it's important to identify a repair shop that works with you, or if you're leased onto a company like I am, you can use their account to get a break on labor, and you can take it to, you know, dealerships and whatnot, and that helps a lot. And you get a break on the labor. It's, you know, it's all about identifying the person that's gonna do a good job and do what you want. A lot of times it's not going to be ideal. Like when I had those flat tires, I had no choice but to go to the Loves. That was the last place I wanted to go, and I got gouged. But it is what it is. So, it's not even that late. Yeah. But so you have to basically have a lot of discretion, know what you're doing, be familiar with your truck, trust yet verify, and be firm. You know, it's your truck, it's your money. You know, you need to be the one in charge to decide how that money gets spent. Don't get me wrong, you need your truck fixed, and you have to trust these guys. And like me, and this happened to me, you're gonna get took here, you're gonna get took there, and eventually you're gonna catch on. Nobody stays stupid forever. And if you really start, well, yeah, there's a few people out there, but with your truck, if you get good, intimately familiar with your truck and you understand it and all its nuances, you're going to know what it needs. And preventative maintenance will become a very real thing, because you would rather fix things on your time than the truck's time. So when you're dealing with a mechanic, especially when it comes to things like this, there's a bunch of preventative maintenance happening right here, but some actual repairs. It's good to be firm, put your foot down. You don't have to be a jerk, but only allow them to fix what you want to fix. And like I said, when you get familiar and you start understanding this and you get familiar with the truck, you'll know what needs to be fixed and what can go on. Like I said, there's a lot of things you shouldn't put off, but there's a lot of things that if you fixed them 9 times and they're not fixed, and the truck hasn't ever derated or broken, you might just let that go for a while. And yeah, you might just let that go. So, well, I hope this video was helpful. That's what I've been dealing with this week, and mechanics, it's always something. So I appreciate it. Thanks for watching. See you next video.
Baby, read the fine print. I've got baggage and it's all Gucci. Don't get too attached to me. Everybody act like the answer. One love like in the movies. Wasting precious time assuming. Oh, were we made to fall? And slowly exploring what I need. Cause dozens of times I swear that I knew when the wisdom was scanty. Doesn't mean I was broken, so open I gave till empty. Got it all back by myself, now nobody can tempt me. If I better off alone, I'll breathe and embrace it on my own. Can't keep making exits from the pressure, lessons after lessons. Had to question these glaring design flaws. Can't keep love built from a love song. No, I'm not only with solo and slowly exploring what I need. Cause dozens of times I swear that I knew when the wisdom was scanty. Doesn't mean I was broken, so open I gave and 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 I. And if I'm better